I'm Reeves Kurtner, and this is In Your Business. Season 1 of In Your Business is presented by Moses Auto Mall of Huntington, online at mosesmeansmore.com, empowered by the Huntington Regional Chamber of Commerce and Kindred Communications. Today we're joined by Rachel Martin, Marketing Manager for Sandy's Racing and Gaming in Ashland, Kentucky. Sandy's is a brand new 75,000 square foot gaming center at Camp Landing that opened in the fall of 2022 with nearly 700 slot machines, sports gambling, restaurants, bars, live entertainment, and in 2025 will feature live quarter horse racing in Boyd County. Sandy's employs over 230 people from the tri-state and had to hire them pretty quickly. Rachel is going to discuss with us how they hired so many people in a short amount of time and what Sandy's does to retain their employees. Let's get in your business. Rachel, thanks for coming by and introduce yourself. Tell us, a little bit about yourself and all the great things that you're doing right now at Sandy's.
Yeah, so my name is Rachel Martin. I'm the marketing manager with Sandy's Racing and Gaming, and born and raised in the area. Happy to be back, and so excited to be a part of this project. But we kind of handle all the fun, as I like to say, all the promotions that get customers in the door and get them coming back. Things they know they can count on, and that's anything from free play to a discounted burger. We've got it all. So just kind of working with all of the teams because it takes a lot to make it all work. So what can we do with food and beverage? What can we do with player services? What needs to be better? What can we improve on? What's going great? And that's kind of my job, is to manage them all intertwined. So for those not familiar with what Sandy's is, give us an overview, history of Sandy's Racing and Gaming too. So we are a casino, basically. It's a gaming facility with over 670 slot-like games. Yes. So what that means, they look the exact same as slots. They basically are slots. They play the same. Their odds are generated on old historical horse races. So they're HHR machines. I did not know that. Yeah. Okay. So when we've got all the, Wheel of Fortune, Buffalo Gold, we have all of those games that everyone knows. I did not know this. But when you hit that button to run that slot game and make your bet, horses flash across the top of the screen really fast, and it's generated on thousands of different old historical horse races. And that's how you get jackpots, how you pay out, but it also is what funds all the purses for horse races in the state of Kentucky. I know you can't talk bad about the Kentucky Racing Association, whatever it is, but they have to have their hands in it, right? For sure. So it's all one, and that's how we're tied to our track as well. Yeah, that's right. So there are similar properties around the state of Kentucky, but we'll be the only one with a dedicated quarter horse racetrack. Talk about that. Yeah, so that we start construction in the spring. We hope to race our first meet by 2025 spring. Okay. So next year's all construction demo. We'll be running our meets at the Red Mile in Lexington, Kentucky. Okay. So the Sandy's Boyd County races will take place at Red Mile. Sandy's at Red Mile. Yeah. We have to run, I think it's 5 days of meets every year to have this specific licensing that that is our gaming and racing. 5 days counts. Yep. Yeah. So we'll race in Lexington in March, I believe. And then hopefully 2025, that's back here in Boyd County. So it will go up on the hill right behind it. It's super fun. I don't know if you ever watched quarter horse races. It's a straight shot, long shot of a horse or of the track. It's not a round track like we're used to. And it is just out the gate as fast as they can possibly run for whatever that stretch of land is that they're running. And it is a blast. Yeah. It's fast. It's quick. Yeah. So I'm going to give it a shout out right now on this podcast. Michelle Christ, that was for you. So I'm on the West Virginia Broadcasters Board of Directors. And our executive director, Michelle, who I love to death, she was asking us questions about it. And we had a meeting like the day after the grand opening. Yeah. Right. And I was explaining to her what quarter horse racing was and the track. I said, you look at the renderings, it's a straight shot. And she was like, no, that's not, I've read, somebody's lying to you. Somebody's pulling your leg. I went, no. And I used to live in Lexington. They did it at the Red Mile. Yep. Reeves. I mean, she was laughing at me. Yeah. Well, then we all got out the Google, and they were like, "Oh, average races are like 300, 500 yards, whatever." And I was like, "You want to apologize to me now, Michelle?" Exactly. It's just a straight shot, but it is.
I said it's drag racing with horses.
It really is. Way more exciting.
Yeah. Well, let's talk more about Sandy's. So you mentioned the machines. the racing. Talk about food, beverage, and sports book too.
Yeah, so we have all within Sandy's. We have Kitchen and Spirits as our restaurant, fully staffed, fully operational, 11 to 11. Weekends, we typically stay open later when we've got live music in there, and our sports book as well. It's state of the art. We're partnered with BetMGM. They're phenomenal. Incredibly comfortable couches and recliners, I must say. You can place all of your sports bets, horse wagering, everything there, cash out all of it at our tellers, and order food. So as you're sitting at the tables, whether it's a couch or recliner or high top, they'll come, they'll take your order, bring you food, drinks as well. And then we have our sandbar, which is our fully operational bar, open every hour that the facility is. And it is delicious drinks. Our specialties is the pina colada. And we've also partnered with Castle and Key out of Frankfurt. So very top shelf liquor that we're serving. We love it, but it's been very fun. And then we also, in both the Sandbar and Kitchen Spirits, have a stage. So we'll have live music Thursday to Sunday every weekend. And on our Sandbar stage, there's dueling pianos. So we try and bring in at least once a month, if not more, if we can find them, to come and play the dueling pianos, baby grands. They're gorgeous. And as well as our Kitchen Spirits is definitely more of the get up and dance venue. You've got the room for it, as well as a bar right there in the restaurant as well. So you don't even have to go far to keep it going. Yeah.
It's first class. Like I said, I went for the grand opening, and holy cow, what a turnaround, though.
Yeah.
I mean, the entire Kiowa Mall, Cedar Knoll Galleria, whatever you want to call it, it was dead. It was done.
It was.
And now it's completely full. I mean, I don't think there's any room or any empty things.
It is. It's a whole new
between the amusement park and all the restaurants, and now a gaming center. It's so great to see.
It's crazy. I know. I grew up probably 12 minutes from there, maybe less. And we'd go to the movie theater. We loved it. I'm so happy they're still there and open, renovated as well. Movie theater out in the county.
Movie theater. Yeah,
it's phenomenal.
Yeah.
So it's been exciting because again, it was a dead mall. You knew it.
It was over.
People would go and walk, or it was just done. There was no reason to go there. So it's been really cool when I moved back in July to see that transformation, because I hadn't been in it. I hadn't seen it. And you would have thought there's no way in heck we're opening in October when we walked through in July. But we pulled it off, and our team was incredible.
How much was the investment?
$75 million investment. And it is worth every penny. We're loving it. But and we stripped it down. It was the old Sears building that we are in. And we stripped it down to the studs. I mean, gutted the floors, did all the plumbing, everything. So it basically is brand new.
How many employees?
We have over 230, I believe, right now. Possibly over 250.
Okay.
250.
Yeah.
That number was off. Yes. So we have over 250 employees, all sourced from the tri-state. And so we have employees from past Barbersville and beyond. We have some that drive over an hour to get to work, but they love it. It's something new to be a part of.
That's right.
And then in the opposite direction to Portsmouth and Wheelersburg, and then a lot of local and Ashland and Ironton, things like that. But the tri-state is definitely a big thing for us. We want to make sure it's not, yes, we're in Boyd County, and I'm diehard Boyd County and Ashland, but it is the tri-state. It's all three of these states coming together.
And it's funny you say that. So one of the and again, I don't know when this episode is going to come out. Probably February, to be honest. All right, just in time for March Madness.
Exactly,
right?
And my birthday. It's perfect.
There we go. But a couple. We had Audie Perry from Heritage Farm here in Huntington, and we were talking about Appalachian tourism and the opportunities here. And he said one of the things that we have to stop doing, we have to stop focusing on West Virginia, Ohio, and Kentucky. He's like, people. We could fly into Huntington Tri-State Airport, and you can hit 3 states in one day.
Yeah, exactly.
And that mentality, like we are, no, across that big sandy river.
Exactly.
We've got to
and even
stop all
just
that.
in
and
town
it is
itself.
Getting better.
It's getting better. I mean, from when I left to now that I'm back, it is definitely better. But we'll not think twice. We'll drive to Keeneland it's a 2-hour drive for a day at Keeneland and drive home that night. But God forbid we drive 15 minutes and cross that bridge or go out into the county. I'm like, guys, it's 7 minutes sometimes.
You're right.
It's not different. It should be easier.
I think things like Camp Landing, Sandy's, and all the great things happen to Paramount right now. Again, getting people going from the Huntington side of the river to the Kentucky side, that's funny you say that. It is a tri-state, and so 250 employees, and that's what we want to talk about is recruiting employees, retaining employees. So How did Sandy's approach the recruitment process to get 250 people hired?
Yeah. Well, it's definitely nerve-wracking because you hear in this day and age, no one wants to work.
That's
no
right.
one wants to do anything.
That's right.
And this is we're open late and we're open early, and it's a long, some days are hard, but they're all fun, you know? So we were nervous. We held 2 different job fairs, and we had over 300 people turn out to
Wow.
both job fairs.
Yeah.
And I mean, we went way past, I think 9 was kind of our end time, but both days we were still interviewing past 9. Every department was set up, and so people would come in, and some were really excited. You know, I love IT, or I'm great for security. But some were just, what are you offering? Because, you know, we just kept pushing nothing like this in the area, which is true. And so a lot of people just came excited and hopeful, and where can I find my spot? And so we hired over 250 right out of the job fairs.
Really?
Orientation was nuts, but exciting. Had several different orientation phases. So
That's
it
right.
wasn't all 250 hiring and training at the same time. And so with that came a lot of really long nights, because before we were fully open and operational, it's not like we had offices or places to put everybody, but they were so gung-ho to, okay, cool, let's unpack all the chairs out of these boxes, and let's load up the gaming floor.
That's right.
Let's do whatever we've got to do. And so it was a lot of all hands on deck for whatever needed to be done, even if it wasn't your specific department. You know, until computers are plugged in, IT didn't know what to do. So well, that's not true. All the servers and everything else, I don't even know what all IT did. They're phenomenal. But it was still just a lot of, where can I help if I'm not needed in this exact moment in my exact department?
On the job fair, how did you all promote that? And how did you get the 300 people to come to both?
So
both events?
Live radio and newspaper. We went on SAZ, just pushing it by word of mouth, social media, everyone sharing with their friends, which was a really cool thing to see as well, of people commenting on our posts and sharing the post saying, hey, at so-and-so, look at this, or you should go, or I'll go if you go, and kind of tagging each other and getting to the job fair. And then seeing those familiar faces of, oh, I saw you post on our picture or whatever, and now you're here. And then we have it on our website as well, and they could apply on the website ahead of time. Always encouraged to apply online, and then they brought their resume and bring them in, just the more you familiarize yourself.
That's right.
So a lot of word of mouth, a lot of, local media, and it worked out well.
That's great. So, were there any challenges specific to finding candidates for the gaming industry?
We thought so, for sure. We all had hesitations, even the ones who were hired for the gaming specific, like the, gaming techs who have to work on these machines they've never worked on. And it was a lot of reassuring them that really we had a brilliant team who is still on our staff and still works with us, who have opened another property or 2 or more. But first and foremost, all of our management they wanted to hire local. And so with us, the more we got hired on, it was also a push that we want to keep this going and keep it local. And then a lot of, reassuring them as we're hiring them, we've also never worked in gaming.
Okay.
I don't know what I'm doing.
Right.
I've gone to a handful of casinos. I've been to Vegas, but it's, we're figuring it out together.
Well, how many people there, were a part of the hiring? How many people, I guess, out of the 250 that work there, whatever it is, are gaming people?
I'd say probably 5 or 6.
Really?
I mean, it is, our president is amazing,
He's
John
a gaming-
Marshall.
yeah.
So he's done this before. Our player services manager and gaming, I guess just gaming manager is his title. They both have come from different properties. Very happy to be here. Have definitely, found home here. And I honestly, and then our board and things like that, they've all done it. But as on property, it might just be those 3 unless I'm missing someone. But and then everything else, IT managers from here, myself with marketing, and then it's HR. She's from Barboursville.
Sure.
Yeah. So, anyways, all of our management, I think, besides 3, are from the tri-state area.
Sure.
Yeah.
So you mentioned orientation. What kind of what was the orientation process like, and what kind of training programs does Sandy offer to new hires to make sure that they're set up for success? How long was that whole process?
Each orientation group, I believe, was about a week. And so Tracy Arthur is our HR manager, and she's phenomenal. She would bring in both groups separately. So we went a whole week with one, and then I think a couple weeks later we started on the next, and do all of the basic HR orientation and the rules and the policy, handbook, guidelines, all of that. We'd bring in different managers to talk about different departments. And then towards the end of the weeks, they were broken out into their specific groups. So each manager would kind of come over and take them and say, all right, we're going to go to the site, we're going to do this, or we're going to meet here, powwow. I had a group of player services with me one day go out to the community. We had, I think, 5 or 6 checks of $3,000 to pass out to different charities. So things like that they got to be a part of, that maybe on a typical work day, I wouldn't get to take 2 caravans full of people to pass out these checks. But we had some time, and they were so excited to do that. So that was kind of, we went through the basics of HR and all of the, uniforms, all that good stuff. And then we broke them into their individual teams with their people.
So, we mentioned that's the thing that everybody talks about is, hey, I can't find people to come work. And obviously, what do you think why do you think 300 people showed up to both events? 600 people showed up to this event. Why do you think of what was Sandy's offering that got them in the door?
So I think one, and as we've seen even now that we're open, people are so excited about this to be in our home area. And whether you're from Wood County or across the river, doesn't matter. It's here and it's local. And they wanted to be a part of that and be a part of this new and exciting movement. We know that the racetrack is coming, and a lot of people, and it's brilliant, and we want to promote from within always. They were here from the ground up, and if there is a position up once we open the Ridge that maybe we think someone is fit for it, great, we'll move them up, and then we'll keep hiring from within and hiring new and training. And so I think that was a lot of mentality of people, which why wouldn't it be? But they wanted to see what it was all about and see. I think for a long time, people didn't believe it. No. And I was one of those. I still wasn't even living here when all of this began. And so when I came in, I told them, I said, I think our first thing is to really convince that this is happening to our community, because we've gone through failures and businesses that didn't stick, and industries that said they were going to come and they didn't. And there was a lot of hope there, and you get crushed. And Ashland used to be this booming industrial town, and we've all kind of see it go over the years, and now it's coming back to life. And so everyone was so hopeful and excited, but hesitant. And so once we got past that hesitation, it was getting them back in the door and then getting them involved, whether they were an employee or a customer.
So are there, you mentioned there's opportunities for entry-level people to advance. Are there opportunities for people to advance, like within who owns Sandy's?
Sandy's is through Revolutionary Racing.
So is there opportunities for people to advance?
I would imagine so, absolutely. Haven't even put my head around that, but
Well, like John Marshall, your president, he started somewhere. I don't know his background, but
he's worked with Revolutionary Racing for the last 10 years, I believe. And so it's definitely, it all goes hand in hand.
Yeah, that's right. So we talked about getting employees in the door. What about keeping them there? That's another thing, right? I can get a guy to show up, but then I don't know if he's going to be there tomorrow or next week, and I put all this money into training him and so forth. So with a large staff like that, crazy hours like you mentioned, what is it, 4 a.m. to...
we're now 9 a.m. to 2 a.m. during the week, and 9 a.m. to 4, but we were 4 and 6 a.m. close. So
sure. So crazy hours. So how has Sandy's... what is Sandy's doing to keep those employees there, keep them happy, and keep them wanting to come back?
It's definitely a lot of employee appreciation, and never once has it been, we could have done it without you. We couldn't have. And we have never once pretended that we could. Upper management, our president, he was there pulling the same long hours we were, which I think is huge. And in my perspective as well as a manager, I just kept the notion of, I'm not asking you to do something I wouldn't do myself, or
right.
I'm not doing myself. And that goes from the very bottom entry level, not that there is a high and a low, but I mean, from the newest of personnel to our longest members there, it's the same notion, is we're not asking you to do something we wouldn't do. And we like to call it, our motto in the back of house is all in, and we're all in for each other, all in for a good time, all in for our customers to come and have a great time. But we are all in to take care of our team.
Yeah.
And I think we do a good job of that. And we, employee appreciation when we can, gift cards, turkey vouchers for the holidays, things like that.
Right.
Little things that go a long way, and then some bigger things. And we had a big pep rally the day of soft opening. I think we closed at 2. It was just a kind of a test run.
Yeah, sure.
And afterwards, we were all out. We had different skits that everyone was doing, fun songs, just a real bring the team together. We've had some insane weeks building up to this day. Our week is going to be even longer now that we're opening. But it really kind of got everyone's spirits high, and we've been riding that out for as long as can.
Are there any unique retention programs or initiatives in place?
Not that well, actually, yes. So we have a program called Kudos that we will be beginning soon.
Yeah.
And that is just where managers can, hey, this employee has gone above and beyond. Let's give them some points. And with those points, they can use them for different things, different gift cards, different online purchases, things like that. Our HR manager is all hands-on with that, so she knows a much better grip on it. But different programs like that we're able to offer them and take care of them. Obviously, in the beginning, everyone was pulling overtime, and that was, well compensated.
Yes.
We wanted to make sure they were being taken care of. But we definitely try, and in the back of house, we'll do fun, like cooking bake-off competitions for the holidays, Chili Fest. We have Toys for Tots going right now for employees who bring in, and I believe they get some sort of benefit or reward just for kind of helping out around the holidays. We're also doing that on the main floor with our guests, but we really try and not just forget about everyone in the back, and what can we do in the break room to make it more enjoyable for them.
Talk about company culture too, right? That goes into that retention. I think that goes into people wanting to work there, word of mouth, that it's a great place and so forth. I mean, talk about your overall culture of working at Sandy's.
Everyone there is excited. We're happy, and not in the weird cheesy way, but truly, we created a very good bond with each other. Yeah. Even with our newer employees that we've hired post-opening. Everyone is, hey, how are you today? What's your name? I haven't met you yet. What can I help you with? Let me get that door. There's no, oh, you're in this department, I don't talk to you, or I don't care. Or and all of management will notice those employees that go above and beyond and make sure we're telling the head of maintenance, hey, your guy out on the floor is phenomenal. I mean, he's crushing it, or he just went and fixed this for us without even blinking an eye, and make sure that it's not just going unnoticed and unsaid to the people that it needs to be noticed to. And that's really huge for us, and we're all there to support each other on the long days and kind of get through it all together. Sure.
What about diversity and DEI strategies? Is that a part of it as well too? Is there a DEI strategy in place at Sandy's?
Yes. So I don't know the specific strategy in and of itself, but we definitely wanted to pull. There was no one who, just because of a limitation they may think they even have, there's no reason you couldn't come and work for any said department. So we wanted to make sure everyone, it was an equal opportunity for sure. And really see what we can do and help them. And we all joke, we have an emotional support dog in the back of one of our employees. We tease her that he's our emotional support dog, and we all stop and get our pets and snuggles with them. So really, we're an open book and open to anything.
Let's kind of move over to, you mentioned this a little bit ago, when you first opened, you were passing out checks to the community and so forth. Talk about that, how Sandy's has engaged with the community, what you all have been involved with so far.
So from the beginning, we know the connotation that can come with gaming facilities is big bad wolf, or we're coming into a smaller community. We didn't want it to ever seem like we didn't care. We are just here to take care of ourselves. That's all we're here for. So we want to give back as much as possible. With us, we always try and do Ohio, West Virginia, and Kentucky. It's not just, we're in Boyd County, let's find a local food pantry. Nope, that's not our goal. And we want to find those that give back and help the most. We help with our vets a lot. We love our veterans. Any and all food pantries, clothing drives, anything like that. Toys for Tots we're running right now. But
we talk about the Facing Hunger Food Bank. You all gave them a nice check. Absolutely. On opening day, right?
Yeah, $10,000. I believe we had 3 different $10,000 checks we distributed, and that was on top of the $3,000 checks. There were 6 of those, if I remember correctly. And we just really want to make sure that, one, we started on the right foot with the area, but we will always stand by that. We'll continue to do this work. And we wanted people to understand, okay, we're not just here to benefit ourselves. Yeah. You know, our goal is economic growth and development for the whole community and tri-state itself. And however we can start and kickstart those things and give where it needs to be given, we will always.
Well, and talk about, too, you're not just a member of the, Ashland Alliance or Boyd County Chamber of Commerce. You're part of the Huntington Chamber of Commerce.
Yeah.
I mean, it's, you mentioned, it is a tri-state effort.
Absolutely. We go around and we've, talked with different Rotary clubs and Kiwanis clubs and things like that, and just kind of get out. And it's been busy. We're now in we still haven't even hit 2 full months of being open. That's right. But the more places I can get. I was at Kiwanis earlier this week, but there's no just Kentucky restricted.
When you're going to Kiwanis, what are you doing there? When you're going to Rotary and Kiwanis, what are you doing there?
We'll kind of talk about the same type of thing and how much we're trying to work with the community. And because those are civic clubs, they want to help. So however we can help, and if you're doing a bike giveaway, a tricycle giveaway, whatever, how can we partner with you? And whether it's just suggestions for the future and getting our foot in the door, and me getting their contact information and giving mine out, saying, please call me always. If I don't answer, leave a voicemail. I will call back. So it's just kind of meeting these people and shaking the hands and saying, we're here to help. We're here to be involved. We want you to come and enjoy it. Obviously, here's our promotions, but really, what can we do to work with each other has always been our goal and will continue to be.
And also in the community stuff, I know, where do the proceeds go for? What kind of programs does Sandy support? In Kentucky, education, things like that, right?
Yeah. Yeah, so any and all, it's just kind of who's contacted. We'll be getting a form on our website to make it a little more manageable. And who we've worked with, who we've met. It was a lot in the beginning of our leaders who came in and started this, and as they were meeting groups and kind of getting in with the right organizations and learning more about everything in the area. And suggestions, hey, this organization is phenomenal. They stand by what they do. Their money goes to the right spots, and kind of learning that way, and then us taking it from there, and myself and our team. And so obviously education is important to us, and the veterans, and the hunger banks and the homeless shelters, and anything like that we can get involved with. Right now we try and be safe with who we're sponsoring or donating to, as far as, when we have a soccer team come and ask. We are a gaming facility, and we are respectful of the members in our community who still might not be fond that we're there, and we don't want to overstep our boundary or go too far on something. So we might not have Sandy's Racing and Gaming on the back of 8-year-old soccer jerseys. Sure. But once we open the Ridge, that becomes a whole new ballpark, because we'll be family centers there. While it will be 5 days out of the year, there'll be horse tracks and races going. We'll also have concerts out there and events or festivals or whatever. We'll have this phenomenal entertainment space. So it won't just be that 21 and up group.
I didn't know that. So I did not know the quarter horse track will also have concerts and stuff.
So that's our goal for sure. The property up there is gorgeous.
Okay.
It goes for forever, it feels like. So we definitely are all open to our own music festival or just a concert coming to town. If a rodeo is coming into town or anything like that, horse shows. I love the Boyd County Fairgrounds, so we won't ever, try and step on that. But just
there's
more opportunity. Yeah,
it won't be just used 5 days out of the year.
Correct. No, we want to, it's used 5 days out of the year for racing. Great. What can we do the other 51 weeks of the year? Yeah. Or during the week, and if someone, hopefully one day we'll have a convention center, stuff like that.
That's right.
The opportunities are endless. So we definitely want to keep an open span to everything and not shut anything out. But sometimes it is one of those, let's table this until we're at the ridge.
That's right.
And then, let's reach back out.
There we go. Any other, kind of wrapping this up, any other advice or insight you'd like to add, to others that are trying to hire a large number of people and retain their workers? Anything else?
Employee appreciation is always going to be noticed. That will never go unappreciated by the employees themselves. That is huge for us, making it personable, whether it is your newest employee or the person who's been there for 3 months but having a bad day. Reach out to them, stop them in the hallway, talk to them. Hey, are you okay today? Or, oh my gosh, I love that shirt, even if it's their uniform shirt. It's just anything that the smallest things really add up and those count. Snacks in the break room, someone made cookies, anything like that really does help. And just kind of keeping that fun, exciting environment to be around. Even when we're in the back of house and there's live music out front and craziness, we're still trying to keep it lively in the back, and it's not all just dragging through the day.
So you mentioned, Sandy's we're in the beginning of December. Hasn't even been open for 2 full months yet. Anything surprised you so far with the opening? Anything?
Oh, we had a horse inside. It was great. No, we can never be too surprised by things. It really was I think the community's reaction, because I knew so many people that were excited about it, but you're still hesitant of those that aren't. And that's totally fair. That's respectful. But it was to see more good than negative, which was a really beautiful thing. Whether it's not your thing and maybe you don't like it, that's cool, but you're not going to hate on it because it is great for the community and it is a huge benefactor for us to have. So that was a really nice surprise to have and not have to worry too much about the negative.
That's right. And that's our episode. Thanks for listening. And thanks again to Rachel Martin for joining us. If you enjoyed this podcast, please like, subscribe, share, and even leave us a review. Season 1 of In Your Business is presented by Moses Auto Mall of Huntington, MosesMeansMore.com, and powered by the Huntington Regional Chamber of Commerce and Kindred Communications.